Well, I'm happy to detain you, okay, for unlawful
All right, what's your
Section
name?
23, Misuse of Drugs Act. I'd like to define my ethnicity. I define myself as white and British. Can I get your ethnicity, please?
In this episode, Auditor Nathan finds himself in the middle of complete chaos. What starts as a simple interview inside a CBD shop quickly spirals into a full-blown police raid. And Nathan, who's just filming, suddenly becomes the target. After the store owner is arrested, the officers shift their focus onto him. What follows is one of the most blatant abuses of police power you'll see. An unlawful search carried out by officers who clearly have no idea what the law actually says.
What, me being stood here, that gives you the right to...
If we find drugs in this premises, yes, and you were in this premises when we find drugs, then yes, that would give me the suspicion that you may well be in possession of drugs.
Even though I've told you why I'm here for a completely legitimate reason.
Tell us a lot of things. You may say you're here
as
for
you can see, I've got my GoPro on the tripod, ready to interview someone about CBD products, as you can see here. My phone's there charging, so I can obviously film on that if this dies. I'm not doing anything illegal by being here.
Should we put that there?
You're not doing anything illegal by just being here, no. I appreciate that.
And I've told you my legitimate reason for being here, so you've got no reason to suspect me or have any suspicion I'm doing anything else other than what I've just told you.
You haven't given me your name.
I don't have to give you my name.
So how am I able to confirm if you are here for legitimate purposes?
Well, at the moment is indicating there's some drugs in this bag.
How would me giving my name then...
Fella, listen to me, okay?
I'm listening to you, yeah?
Okay, we are here to arrest this gentleman, yeah? He's been arrested for a drugs offence. Yeah, just come out of the way for us, please.
This officer's reasoning is completely backward. He admits Nathan isn't doing anything illegal, yet still tries to manufacture suspicion, claiming that if they find drugs on the premises, that somehow gives him reason to suspect Nathan too. That's not how reasonable suspicion works. It must be based on personal conduct, not guilt by association. Nathan was there for a clear, lawful reason, interviewing the store owner about CBD products, and the officer even acknowledged that. But instead of leaving it there, he doubles down, saying, "How would I know you're here for a legitimate reason?" That single line shows how little grasp he has of the law. It's not for Nathan to prove his innocence. It's for the officer to establish lawful grounds. Once he admitted Nathan wasn't doing anything illegal, any suspicion instantly vanished.
Me being here is not enough suspicion.
Well, based on our intelligence that this gentleman here is supplying controlled drugs, not just being in possession of them, but here's a supply of controlled drugs, and you are here with him, would then, to me, suggest there may be suspicion that you have been supplied drugs by him. Well, that is it.
If you search me, I don't consent to it, and I'll be taking legal action too.
So we're in the middle of an investigation at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Which we've got every right to do. Got a magistrate's warrant. We're on premise. All signed. Don't worry, you can have copies of that, as you well know. You can have all signed.
Wet signed.
Where is it? Like, can we see it before you proceed?
All signed.
Can we see?
All signed.
Yeah.
The power to search is here. It's all sorted, and we're quite happy to share that.
Yeah, can we see it now? Like,
Right. So
can we see that signature now? Like,
we've got that. Not yet.
Not yet.
But it's up at a different premises. So
Surely, before you're doing all this, you should have to show that, because what if it's not signed?
No, the warrant, there might be some confusion. The warrant isn't for this premises. The warrant is home address.
Confidential to you, really.
So that's what the warrant is for. Obviously, this shop was open, which is why we've come in this morning, and the rest of the gentlemen. So we don't need a warrant to be here now, because after being arrested, we have a power to search under Section 32.
This whole exchange shows just how messy and confused the officer's approach really is. The second officer tries to justify barging into a private business by waving around the word warrant. But when Nathan calmly asks to see it, he admits it's not even for the shop. It's for the owner's home address. That alone makes it irrelevant to what's happening here. Then the plainclothes officer jumps in, claiming they don't need a warrant because the shop was open and they can search under Section 32. Technically, Section 32 of PACE does allow police to search the place where someone is arrested for evidence linked to that offense, but only within tight limits. It doesn't extend to every person nearby or anyone simply present like Nathan.
Can I go around to his premises too while you're searching?
You won't be able to go in there because that's totally different.
Yeah.
At the moment, because you're like secure, right? We don't know whether you'd take anything into that warrant or whatever. So no, you won't be allowed access there.
Whoever is to you, friend, colleague, just a business acquaintance,
No,
whatever.
just my friends.
Okay.
As far I've
He's
come
been
down
arrested
and
for a drugs-related offence in terms of supplying drugs. Okay, so surely from that you can understand why I might suspect you may have been here. You may, I'm not saying you are, but you may have been here in order to be supplied drugs.
Yeah, I can understand that.
If I
had
satisfy myself that that's not the case, then you won't be searched. All I said to you was, if you need to be searched, I've told you the powers in which we do them. But if you don't, then you won't be.
Like I'm saying, you don't have reasonable grounds. The only reasonable grounds you've got is
So
suspicion.
those reasonable grounds aren't yours to form, mate. They're mine. Okay.
Oh yeah, but then it's also you that'll be in the shit, so to speak. You know.
Well, maybe, but that doesn't concern you then, does it, if I'm in the shit?
His logic is shocking. He assumes that because the shop owner has been arrested for supplying drugs, anyone in the shop must automatically be part of the same activity. That's not suspicion based on facts. That's lazy policing built on assumption and proximity. Simply being present in a location where an offense may have occurred does not create reasonable grounds to suspect involvement. And when Nathan challenges him, the officer's smug reply, "Those reasonable grounds aren't yours. They're mine," perfectly captures the mindset of an officer who thinks power equals correctness. But reasonable suspicion isn't a matter of personal feeling. It's a legal threshold designed to protect citizens from arbitrary searches.
This helps you ground some more, just to give you some more information. There are some what look like medicinal cannabis, but there's also what in this bag in possession, what might not be. Just if that creates any more grounds for yourself.
Okay.
I'd be quite happy.
I'll have a steak in the bag in them.
So
I'd be quite happy that.
So, on your opinion of something not being lawful, that would be enough
for the offence that's been investigated at the moment. Okay, and for what someone's been arrested for, and for what's been located on this premise at the moment.
So, what's giving you the reasonable grounds to think that it's illegal, and what you found? Because
I don't need to go into what I found. I'll just say what's on the premise at the moment.
So you found some medical cannabis that's legal.
Well, I'm happy to detain you, okay, for lawful section,
what's your
section
name?
23, Misuse of Drugs Act. My name at the moment is Acting Sergeant John Dunn, and I'm based at the Eastfield Police Station.
All right, what's your collar number?
It's 1077, is my collar number.
The acting sergeant steps in and tells the plainclothes officer that the shop owner had some medicinal cannabis and what might not be. That single word, might, completely destroys any reasonable suspicion. The law doesn't operate on maybe. If an officer isn't sure what something is, that's not suspicion. That's uncertainty. And uncertainty can never justify a search under any circumstance. But here's the shocking part. The plainclothes officer doesn't react, knowing it's not solid ground. Yet the acting sergeant takes that weak statement and runs with it, deciding to detain Nathan under Section 23. That's pure nonsense. Nathan wasn't seen with drugs, he wasn't acting suspiciously, and the supposed evidence didn't even confirm anything illegal.
Okay, I like to define my ethnicity. I define myself as white and British. Can I get your ethnicity, please?
Whatever you can see, what do I look like?
No, it's what we like to ask people. You can refuse if you like.
I don't answer any questions, to be fair, but what do I look like to you?
Okay, you do have the right to have a copy of the stop search certificate if you wish to do so. That's later, but I can explain that. I can also explain if you wish to complain and how you can go about doing that.
No,
obviously, everything that we're doing is it's been on record. It's on body worn, and I can see your recording there as well. I'm quite happy for you to hold that body worn camera. Nothing sharp, no.
Nothing. It's my headphones.
Thank you. Yeah, if you just turn around from my face.
That was search inside pocket.
Oh yeah, I can. Thanks for pointing that out.
I don't want my face on social media, buddy.
You don't have that sort of right, I'm afraid.
Right, just point it that way.
I can point it wherever I want. I don't want my face all over your videos, but yeah, here I am.
But that's not going public, is it?
No, but I've got permission of the shop owner to be here filming, which trumps whatever you say, so...
This is where Nathan absolutely schools the officer. When the officer tells him to point the camera away, Nathan calmly reminds him he doesn't have to. He's filming with full permission from the shop owner, and that single fact destroys the officer's argument. The shop is private property, open to the public, and Nathan has the owner's consent to record there. That permission outranks any officer's personal demand to stop filming. The officer clearly doesn't understand the law. This isn't about preference, it's about rights. Once Nathan has permission, The police have no authority to dictate what he can or can't film inside the premises.
Is that all right? I'm going to ask you to leave if that's all right. You can't stay because we're going through a search now. So this is actually a crime scene at the moment, of which we're going to be looking through. I can't leave you in the crime scene, so I'll be asking you to leave.
I can't literally stand here now.
No.
Because that's what the owner wanted. He wanted me to stand here and just to make sure that, I won't interfere.
Obviously, you're going to have to leave the premises now.
I can't even stand by the door and...
You can be outside, but you can't be in here.
That'll be a public place.
So I think in fairness, I take it as your friend, isn't he?
Yeah.
Down here. So I think in fairness to him, he's the one in the cell, isn't he now? Right, he's under arrest. You were here when he was under arrest. Normally, I won't tell you that because he'd have no right to know it.
Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Because you were present at the time, then you know it, don't you? But from here on in, it's an investigation now, right? And we can't be frustrated in doing that. And I just don't mean having someone filming. I mean the fact that if we find something, then it's a matter for him to account for it because you're not under arrest, so you're free to leave. So I'd ask you to leave now, please, as we get...
Is that a request, though, or is that an order?
What did I say?
The claim that the shop was now a crime scene doesn't automatically give them the right to clear everyone out, especially someone like Nathan, who was there lawfully with the owner's permission and wasn't obstructing the investigation. Unless police formally seal the premises under PACE or issue a lawful order under Section 19, they have no power to remove a lawful visitor. Nathan's question, is that a request or an order, hits the nail on the head. If it's a request, he can refuse. If it's an order, they need a clear statutory power to back it up, and they didn't have one. The officer's vague claim about frustrating the investigation isn't a lawful basis. It's an excuse. Nathan was perfectly entitled to remain where he was, and the officers knew it. That's why they resorted to pressure instead of procedure.
I ask you to leave, please, because we're in the middle of investigation.
And I can say no to that, can I?
Not really.
Not really, or...
Yeah, because, no, you can't.
What happens if I do say no?
You'll be obstructing.
You're obstructing him.
So I do have to, it's
Well, I'm
not just a request, is it?
That's how you want to... I'm asking you nice and politely.
If you're asking me, though, then it's like I've got a choice to say yes or no, innit?
Your mate's under arrest, right? I'm asking you to leave the premises,
And open
please.
it up.
Okay?
And like I'm saying, do I lawfully have to do that? Or is that just a request?
I'm asking you to leave the
Because
premises.
the way that you're wording
to
it...
leave the premises at this point.
Was it on this place?
No, we'll just...
The way that you're wording it, though, it's like I've got a choice in
I'm
it.
asking you to leave the premises at this point, please.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
No worries, I'll grab my stuff.
Thank you.
What's your name?
You don't need to know my name, pal.
So, no, this phone, I know you've unlocked it.
Do you want me to show you our fingerprint as well? Just to double...
Whose fingerprint would put us in?
Who has access to that?
Me.
Or,
No
or
one
both
else.
of you?
No, this is my phone.
Is it?
Yeah, why would we both have access to a phone?
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
what sort of
I'm not being funny. I don't know.
You don't know, you just asked a question and you don't even know why you asked it, do you?
When Nathan moves to pick up his phone, one of the officers grabs it like it's evidence, despite having no grounds or warrant to seize it. Then comes the most ridiculous exchange yet. When Nathan tells them it's his phone, the officer actually asks, "Or both of you?" As if the shop owner somehow shares access to Nathan's personal mobile. Nathan's reaction says it all. "This is my phone. Why would we both have access?" The officer's sheepish reply, "I don't know," exposes exactly what's happening here. He wasn't thinking. He was improvising, tossing out random guesses to justify his interference. This wasn't procedure. It was policing by impulse, hoping anything would stick.
You're being very offensive, aren't you?
You just searched me for no reason, and then you're whinging about being filmed and stuff.
No,
do you know what I mean?
the
Saying that I'm being argumentative.
The officer will explain the reasonable grounds for the search.
Is that good enough for you?
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff.
What other stuff have you got yours? Just this?
Is that? There's me bag down here. Right.
Sorry.
We've searched this. This one.
You can search all you want, Carl. Just get me stuff.
Yeah, that's yours.
I'm not going to...
No,
like, have I
that's
caused you
yours.
any problems or anything so far?
No,
Yeah,
Is,
I
is
don't
that
think
so?
because, yeah.
You've asked questions.
We've
I'm
been nice
not
and
going to
polite.
cause you any problems. So... Oh, sorry, what's your name and number?
PC Liversidge, 1062.
All right, thank you, mate. You'll be famous.
Thank you.
This whole episode was a car crash of poor judgment and unchecked authority. Nathan walked into a legitimate business to film an interview, yet somehow ended up surrounded by officers trying to spin a simple visit into a criminal scene. Every moment screamed confusion. Officers guessing their way through powers they didn't understand. It wasn't policing. It was panic, dressed up as procedure. The plainclothes officer's attitude summed it up perfectly. Instead of evidence, he leaned on assumption. Instead of law, he relied on his own feelings. When he said, "Those reasonable grounds aren't yours, they're mine," he accidentally revealed everything wrong with modern policing. It's no longer about facts or fairness. It's about who can shout the loudest. That's not authority. That's arrogance. Then there's the unprofessionalism. Snatching Nathan's phone, asking absurd questions, fumbling to justify actions that had no legal footing. They weren't in control. They were out of their depth, hoping confusion would cover incompetence, but Nathan didn't fold. He stayed calm, challenged them at every turn, and exposed how fragile their authority becomes when met with someone who actually knows the law. By the end, Nathan didn't just walk away. He walked away with proof. Proof that knowledge will always beat bluffing, and that calm defiance exposes corruption faster than outrage ever could. What this audit shows isn't just one bad encounter. It's a system that collapses the moment it's questioned. Nathan didn't just win an argument. He reminded everyone why filming the police isn't a nuisance. It's a necessity.